On this episode of One TV,
this is an opportunity for this commission, for Shelby County government, to step up to the plate and make sure this public hospital has the resources it needs to deliver care to all of us.
If these products get back into our environment, into our soil, into our water, it can be detrimental.
hello and welcome to One TV. It is our first ever episode, Our Next Era TV, and today we have a bunch of really great things planned for you. We're going to dive in and talk about what's happening in county government, and of course, Mayor Lee Harris is here to help us with that. Thank you so much for being here on your show.
Absolutely glad to be here on this show.
This show, One TV. Now, the whole reason we're doing this is to let folks in the county know what's happening in your office. So let's start by telling folks a little bit about your work that your office is doing to help with reentry from folks who've been incarcerated or now reentering society. Can you talk a little bit about that program and the work that's being done there?
Very good. So that's a great point, is that public safety is one of those things that requires us to do a variety of things very, very well. I mean, people want public safety to fit on a bumper sticker, but that if it fits on a bumper sticker, it's not a real plan for public safety. Yeah, exactly. You got to do a lot more. Right. And so part of the programming that we have really brought to bear in order to respond to our public safety needs is trying to attend to and take care of what we are doing with respect to people that have a criminal history that are in our community. So when folks get out of jail or prison and so forth, get out of the system, how are you reintegrating them back into the community? How are you reducing the stigma? How are you making sure they have opportunities to take care of themselves and their family? So there's lots of different programs that we have initiated over the last several years to respond to that need. And you've mentioned one, or you've kind of alluded to one, and that's Work to Break the Cycle. So Work to Break the Cycle is a website, worktobreakthecycle.com. Go there and visit.
You made it easy, worktobreakthecycle.com.
Yeah, where we specially curate jobs that are geared toward people with a criminal history. In other words, we would prefer at this website for our applicants to be people that are trying to reintegrate back into our community after having had interaction with the criminal justice system. Right. If they go to worktobreakthecycle.com, they'll see those jobs. They're Shelby County jobs, so that means good pay, right? Our minimum hourly pay in Shelby County government is $17 an hour, and it means benefits because we offer great benefits and opportunity to grow your career, learn new skills, and take care of your family. And so that's how you keep people out of the criminal justice system. You give them a job. You give them an opportunity. Right.
That provides a lot of hope in the process. Well, thank you to you and your office and your leadership for both of those programs. I think they really help address two things that we all know are important in our community. Another thing that's important that we all love talking about is the budget. So you just put out your first budget of this term. Talk a little bit about that, very high level, what we can expect, and then in the next segment we'll dive into one of those topics.
That's exactly right. So Shelby County is a large organization, and you have thousands of employees, and our budget is about $1.6 billion. And so there are hundreds of programs that are embedded in a budget of that size. Some of the highlights include that we are doubling down on our commitment to kids. We want to make sure that more kids have a first-rate learning environment, and so that means investing in schools, particularly investing in our school buildings, because we know there are kids that are in schools with leaky roofs, with HVAC systems that don't work, so they're too hot or they're too cold in the classroom, and that is not a recipe for focusing on learning. At the same time, we're really paying attention to Regional 1 in our budget. That's this community's only public hospital. It's been around for the last 2 centuries, if you can believe that. Wow. And so we want it to be around for the next century. And if it's going to be around and enduring and continue to provide access, particularly to those who are most vulnerable, it's going to require substantial investment. And so the budget calls for $350 million over 5 years to be invested in Regional 1. So $350 million is, a pretty penny. Right. We think that it's going to both give us a chance to invest in the trauma center, in the campus, the NICU, which is where high-risk babies go for care and treatment, and a variety of important physical spaces on that campus. And so we couldn't be prouder. We also think that 350 will unlock state resources that might come down the pike once we get into the process of rebuilding Regional 1's campus.
Wonderful. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into that in our next topic, but that's it for what's happening now, and we'll be right back.
Shelby County, Tennessee was founded as an agricultural hub for the South. We're now an ag tech center for the world. We're on a mission to prepare the nation's next generation of leaders by providing world-class education, world-renowned healthcare, and a strong infrastructure to support the world's best businesses. Shelby County is more than a place for people to live. It's a destination where families can thrive. We welcome diversity, we celebrate our culture, and we honor our history. Welcome to Shelby County. Or like we love to say, welcome home.
Our first episode going well so far. We are about to dive into the topic of the day, and that is your first budget of your term. Specifically, we're talking today about Regional 1 and that funding. So tell me a little bit about what sparked that.
So Regional 1 is this community's only public hospital. It is a community asset that's owned by Shelby County government. And so it's been around for 2 centuries, most of that time serving the underserved in this community. It has a history of being one of the only places around this state where African Americans could go for care. And the responsibility is on us, Shelby County government, as the owners of Regional 1, to make sure that the hospital is enduring for the next century. That's going to require a substantial investment because over time, the needs of the patients at Regional 1 have changed. This is the place where all of us want to go if we end up in need of urgent care, if we end up in a car accident or in a house fire, or God forbid, we're a victim of gun violence. Regional 1 is the only level 1 trauma center for miles and miles around. And that designation means it gives the highest care, highest and best care in those cases of any hospital setting that you'll find. And we want that to be available for everyone. As I said, things have changed. The volume of patients that they see over time have changed dramatically, and the standard of care has changed. And so if you were to take a tour of Regional 1, you would be struck today in 2023 to see 50 high-risk babies in a single room, where the standard of care is that you'd have a single high-risk baby in a room by itself. An opportunity for the doctors to take care of that baby, an opportunity for the family to visit with that baby, but we don't have that right now. And so we want to address that situation among many others. Right now, if you go to the trauma center, which is where you would go for the emergency type of care that I've already talked about, you'll see patients in the hallways.
Yes, we've seen that.
And that is not ideal. That's tragic. And so somebody's got to fix that, and that's on our watch. And as the owners of Regional 1, I've said that this is an opportunity for this commission, for Shelby County government, to step up to the plate and make sure this public hospital has the resources it needs to deliver care to all of us, because we never know, right, whether this is our day. Right? Those things are out of our control, and any one of us or any one of our loved ones could end up at Regional 1, and we want them to be able to access the health care that they need to stay alive and return home.
I always say it's amazing what they're able to do with what they have. They have life-saving care happening there all the time. As we speak, right now, they're caring for patients that are coming in. I think one of the other things that you talk about with this partnership and with you putting this in your budget and prioritizing it is also that partnership with UTHSC. And we are training future doctors who often come back to our community. Can you talk about that?
So that's right. If you want to grow a community, one of the things you need is you need high-quality schools, but you also need a hospital, and in an urban area, you need many hospital systems that are strong. And Regional 1 has to be strong if our community is to grow, and we're going to see the economic development that we need. And so part of the plan calls for a rebuild of the campus. That's kind of the phase 1. How do we recruit enough resources to rebuild the campus? I want Shelby County government to be the first money in because we own that hospital. Right. The other part of the plan, which is the phase 2, is how do we unlock resources from the state to support our investment? And the third part of the plan is the long-term and permanent partnership between Regional 1 and UTL Science Center. Right now, if you're going to recruit and retain the best talent in the medical profession, you've got to have the ability to give doctors and nurses and specialists dual designation. You've got to give them a clinical setting that matters, that has the best tools and innovation available, and you've got to give them an academic research setting that also allows them to grow and to progress in their professional work. And so right now, UTL Science Center doesn't have a hospital. and our hospital is looking for a real partnership for the state. So it works together.
Right.
And so we're hopeful that in the phase 3 of this 3-part plan, that we're able to marry permanently. Every marriage is permanent.
Hopefully.
UT Health Science Center with Regional One's
Yes.
campus, because that will be a game changer for the ability of that campus to recruit the very best. That'd be a game changer for our community to grow, because we'll have such a strong hospital in the middle of Midtown Memphis.
And it's right in the heart of our city, which is really important. I think to end this segment, why should the folks at home care about this, and who should they contact to help make all this happen?
No, I think that's right. So it goes back to what I said before. It's only by the grace of God that we don't end up in a car accident or a house fire or a victim of some other incident day to day. And we never know when our good fortune is going to run out, and when we are going to end up there or someone else is going to end up there. If you don't believe me, first thing you should do, if you don't believe this, is talk to your coworkers and talk to people in your family. You will find story after story of people who have benefited from the care delivered at Regional One. Right. And so that's what I'd ask them to do, is talk to their loved ones and understand how important this moment is. And then after that, I'd say, after they're convinced, reach out to their county commissioner, because it's going to be a tough thing to get 7 out of 13 county commissioners, or God willing, even more than that,
Right.
to vote in support of this kind of massive investment, which will total hundreds of millions of dollars, but it's needed money to make sure that everybody gets the care that they deserve.
Well, and you said it, it's to invest in the next.
That's right.
In the next part of our community. So thank you for your work and the work you do, your whole team does in your office. And of course, this has been a fun episode 1. We're learning more about what's happening, getting a better understanding of. Contact your commissioners to support the budget. And we've got our next segment. Since 2008, the Shelby County Hazardous Waste Facility has been helping Shelby County residents dispose of things we all have lying around our household. And of course, that is a big job. And today, One TV's Kelly Roberts is going to show us how their growing understanding of our shared environment has made things busy over there for them.
There are common household items that need to be carefully disposed of. And when it's time to dispose of those items, you can bring them here to the Shelby County Household Hazardous Waste Facility. Now it's open more hours for the residents of Shelby County.
Right there, good.
People are coming and bringing, disposing of paint, gas, oils, computers, batteries.
Word is getting out about the Shelby County Household Hazardous Waste Facility.
Within the last year, I would say our business has almost doubled. We had increased so much that we had to add on a day. We just put on Thursday, we add an additional day.
For the last 15 years, the site at 6307 Haley Road has been collecting Shelby County residents' hazardous household items to dispose of them safely to avoid environmental contamination. All residents have to do is drive up and show an ID. With the growing business, the facility is now open 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. Household Hazardous Waste Facility Manager Jose Houston says disposing of these items is not just about making space in your home.
In fact, our lives could be dependent on it, as far as in the future with our children and grandchildren. If these products get back into our environment, into our soil, into our water, it can be detrimental. A lot of people do not know, but 1 quart of oil can contaminate 1 million gallons of drinking water.
And it's that awareness of our shared environment that Houston believes is driving more people to get rid of hazardous items safely.
Education is the key. The more education, literature that we put it out on the internet. We got flyers that we pass out, word of mouth, and people encourage other people to dispose of their substance in a safe manner.
Now you can spread the word of this free, expanded service for Shelby County residents so we all can be a part of protecting ourselves, our environment, and our next generation. Shelby County's Household Hazardous Waste Facility can be reached at 901-222-7729. For One TV, I'm Kelly Roberts.
Shelby Cares is on a mission to help make Memphis and Shelby County the healthiest place on earth, starting with you. With practical advice, free health services, and fun wellness activities, Shelby Cares makes it cool to be healthy. Are you ready to change your lifestyle to be healthier? Here are 3 low-cost tips to get started. Get moving. Take a walk with a friend or jog in place in your living room. You don't have to spend a lot of money and join a gym. Moving 30 minutes around your house or neighborhood daily keeps your heart healthy. Change your diet. Start by cutting back on those sweets and salt. Add healthy ingredients to your meals, such as fruit, vegetables, and lean protein. You'll notice the difference in your body as you feed it healthier fuel. Know your numbers. Check up with your doctor regularly and track your vital signs at home. Tracking your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels can help prevent health scares and allows you to know what's going on with your body. What's one thing you can do today? I'm going to ride my bike, and I hope you'll join me by going outside to move around a bit. This health tip is brought to you by Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris's Office of Innovation. I'm Tammy Sawyer, your favorite healthcare equity ambassador, and I'm asking you to put yourself first, get healthy, and help me spread the word about good health.